I'm not 100% sure like the delay between the recordings and stuff. So
Yeah.
okay,
Oh, there you
there
are.
there we go.
Yeah.
Alrighty, how's it going, everybody? I'm going to go ahead and record, and we will take off. All right, how's it going, everybody? Today we are talking about it's kind of like a bonus week because yesterday, unfortunately, Dylan, you were not well. How are you? By the way, how are you feeling?
I'm good. I had laryngitis the past few days,
Ooh,
so
nasty.
today is like the first day where I think I'm not slurring my words.
Oh,
So I'm
wow.
doing pretty good. Like
I'm glad to hear that.
so Monday and Sunday my voice was completely gone, and like I think my throat was so swollen that it was hitting a nerve that's connected to my ear, so it's just
Ouch.
really painful. But the doctors prescribed me some medicine, and now I feel like a brand new man.
Awesome. Well,
Or should
that
I say it's a brand new day?
that is great. That is great. I will quote you on that. No, but I'm glad you're feeling much better, and I'm glad that you were back up and at 'em. It's no fun being sick. Thank God for modern medicine and technology and
Yeah.
all the things we've discovered over the years. So I will kick it off to you. I kind of gave a brief, I don't know if I would say a review of the movie because I'm assuming people that watch this have already seen the movie because it will spoiler heavy. So I don't think we need to go through like, oh, what happened in the movie. I think it's more of just talking about parts that we liked, parts that we didn't. But also, I think today I was like, we could definitely do your perspective on the story as a whole. And actually, you had a good before we started, you had something good that you wanted to share about comics versus the movie, and so I will kick it to you and say, just kind of like allow you to take it where you would like, sir. So go ahead.
Okay. So I would say the movie really only shares the name with the Brand New Day comics. It doesn't really have a lot to do with it. I mean, when you go back and watch the movie and then you go back and read the comics, there's not really a story that they're telling from the comics. It's not,
Interesting.
I wouldn't even really say it's like a loose adaptation because they're not really covering any of those stories. Um, Maybe like I guess they're covering the small time villains and how like Spider Man's going back to his early days where he's like fighting a villain of the week, you know. But I mean, I think it mostly takes inspiration from the J. Michael Straczynski run, which was the run before the Brand New Day comics.
Interesting.
I mean, they basically adapted the other, which is like I only have the main titles right here. I
Okay.
know it spreads through Friendly Neighborhood and I can't remember the other one, but
So those were kind of like spin-offs of the main title, or were
oh
they
yeah,
already established and
it
then
was
they
like
tied together?
yeah, they tied together. They were already established, so
Okay.
like it's kind of like what they did with Superman in the '80s with like the Triangle era, where it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the story would spread through like one book and then another book, like another title. You know, so like you had Amazing Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhood, and whatever the other one was called. I can't remember at the moment,
No, that's all good.
but I don't think it was spectacular.
Okay.
But
So
uh,
essentially, they're drawing, if I'm hearing you right, they're drawing from the run prior to the comic run of Brand New Day.
that's kind of what it felt like. I mean,
Okay.
throughout this whole story, it's telling the story of how Peter Parker was not bitten by the spider by mistake. He was chosen, like he was destined to be Spider Man. And I know a lot of people don't like that idea because anyone can be Spider Man, I guess. But
Right.
like, I think it's kind of cool that Peter Parker was destined to be Spider Man because, like, I don't know, there's just something cool about that. But like the whole story's kind of mystical. It's leading up to like Peter getting organic webbing and all that other stuff. I think it's kind of funny in the comics. Peter only has organic webbing for like 20 issues, and
Oh,
then
really?
they don't really ever bring it up again. Like after Brand New Day, when Brand New Day happens, he goes back to the web shooters.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, they got rid of so many things that happened in the Spider-Man comics after Brand New Day because they wanted it to be more traditional Spider-Man. But even so, a lot of people just didn't like it
Hmm.
because
Okay.
they were still upset about what happened during the One More Day storyline,
Gotcha.
and that was basically loosely adapted in No Way Home. But I mean, No Way Home did it better. At least it didn't make people angry like
Yeah.
it did in the comics.
So I would say that based on box office reviews, I don't know if you shared this on screen or off, but you said something about you think it's like making 2 billion right now.
I think so.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so in that I think I heard it projected to potentially it could be the first $3 billion movie ever, and who knows how long they'll keep it going. So overall, what I know, I think you said, have you seen it more than twice now? You saw
I've
it twice last time.
I've only seen it twice.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure if I want to go again.
Yeah, that's fair. So
Uh,
overall,
I might. I
uh,
saw Deadpool and Wolverine like 6 times in theaters, so
oh
if
wow.
I might, I don't know if I want to see it again though.
Yeah. Okay. So overall, as a Spider-Man fan, because you said on, I think one of our again off panel on screen, whatever, you said something about that was like your first comic book love or whatever. So
Yeah,
as a Spider-Man fan, how was this movie for you overall experience?
I thought it was great. Um, I think it's the first movie since maybe the Amazing Spider-Man one where it felt like Peter Parker actually had a lot of like confliction with himself. Uh, I mean, you could also say the same for Amazing Spider-Man 2, but to me, that's mostly towards the end. Uh, but I think it was the first time Tom Holland's Peter actually felt like Peter from the comics.
Okay.
And I mean, it's mostly because, I mean, No Way Home did a good job too, because he was actually like building up to him being a grown up, basically,
Right.
which is one thing the comics don't allow him to be as a grown up, which is
Mm,
funny. But
interesting.
yeah, it just felt the most Spider-Man to me that Tom's ever been.
Okay.
Like with Homecoming and Far From Home, um, they I I feel like they botched his character in so many ways, from him not learning responsibility through Uncle Ben, or having Tony Stark basically be this mentor for him, even though in the comics they don't really like each other at all. Uh, like they had to do so many things to make Spider-Man actually feel like Spider-Man again that it's crazy to think that it took 10 years to do it for Tom.
Okay.
And this is the first movie where I'm like, okay, Tom is like officially the Spider-Man guy. Like when you think of
Nice.
Spider-Man, you probably think of Tom now. You don't think of Toby or Andrew. I mean, even though I think Toby still has the best movies.
Okay.
Like Spider-Man 2, Toby's movie is by far still my favorite superhero movie.
Awesome.
Uh, but Brand New Day is like way up there. Like definitely top 10, I would say.
Nice. Of
Along with
just all superhero, not
yeah,
just Spider-Man.
I would say so.
Where would you rank it in your Spider-Man rankings as far as movies?
2 or 3
Okay.
because I also love No Way Home.
Okay.
Um, No Way Home. I know it's like really cheesy to say, like just like the fan service they did by adding Toby and Andrew,
Mm-hmm.
but that movie I think it was like made for comic book fans, and like they gave people what they really wanted was to have a send off for Toby and Andrew.
Yeah, that's great. So let's go ahead and jump in. I will go ahead since I kind of gave an overview yesterday. We could talk more about the story, more about the characters, more about what you liked, what you didn't like, what could have been done better. So I will probably ask you some questions along the way of just what you thought, maybe give my comments. But I guess let's start off with Spider-Man and Peter and his struggle and how that kind of went throughout the film. And also, I guess, is there anything favorite parts of Peter Spider-Man, since obviously this was his movie. And then we could talk about some other things along the way as well. Or if you think of anything, just jump right to it. Because I do have one important question I'll ask. Actually, let me go
Okay.
ahead and ask it, and then we'll get it out of the way and talk about it, and then we'll jump right into everything else. So my question is: does at the end of the movie, is it clear to you whether Ned knows or not, or is still kind of up in the air?
I think it's still kind of up in the air.
Okay.
I would like to think that Ned. Oh well, like the fist bump. I don't think he would have like he did. I mean, he did it. So I'm assuming that in some sort of way he's familiar with it. So
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, I heard someone else mention it that the he had the Doctor Strange powers in the previous movies. So and maybe that connects in some way, or maybe the Jean Grey thing like maybe altered their brain.
Oh, that
So
is a
maybe
great
the
take.
yeah. Um so I think he is familiar. Like he's like the more like things that Peter and him do, or like even with Mary Jane, she has the Black Dahlia necklace from Far From Home on at
Right.
the end of the movie. So I think they're starting to remember or like starting to like feel nostalgic for something that they don't know is missing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's I like that interpretation. And as you're talking, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, holy cow, what if as Jean Grey broke something in Dr. Banner, what
Yeah.
if she fixed something unintentionally in MJ and Ned? I don't
Yeah.
know. It's a thing, but will we get it explored later? I hope. I hope they do in some capacity.
I know. Um
I would
two
not
years
want
from
them to
now,
just
maybe Secret Wars.
I would not want them just to leave that ending hanging. I'm like, okay, what's going
Yeah.
on?
The
And
only thing that it is like really kind of sucky about waiting for these movies, like you have to wait years to get a
right
conclusion.
to get a
Like,
payoff.
yeah, it took 4 years for like No Way Home to get a payoff for from Brand New Day. So it's like, how many more years
Yeah,
are we gonna have to wait?
I know,
I
right?
mean,
Like, give us
I'm
blurbs or
assuming,
something.
yeah, I'm assuming it's gonna be Secret Wars where we get some sort of something with Spidey.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we'll get this. I'm hoping we'll get this.
Okay. Is that him as Venom?
This is the black suit. So
Okay.
I mean, yeah,
A little bit different than Spider Monkey.
right?
Okay. One other question, and then I will let you. I promise I'll let you rant, or not rant, but just share the things that you really
Yeah,
enjoyed. Also, audience, if you are watching and have any comments or questions about the movie, or would like to know our opinion, feel free to ask us anything. So, okay, so here's the last question. Apparently, Doctor Strange's spell did not work on Jean Grey because she knows who Peter Parker is.
really? Huh?
Yeah, she says, "I know who you are, Peter." Although, and she, so here's an interesting thought. She
Well,
couldn't she couldn't get in his mind, right? Or
yeah.
is it when she tried to get in his mind, that's when she found out who he was?
I thought that was
That's my
kind of the
question.
case. I
Okay,
thought that was the case because she didn't really mention the stuff with Mysterio.
right.
I mean, I don't know if that really has anything to do with it, but
Yeah.
I feel like that's for them to reveal later, or
Okay.
maybe just leave it up in the air. Because
Yeah, and that may be a fan thing, but is I would assume in the comics Jean Grey is stronger than Doctor Strange. I would assume.
oh yeah, I mean with the Phoenix Force,
Okay, okay. Now without the Phoenix Force, yes or no?
probably.
Okay, I
I
would
don't
assume
I don't
too,
read
but
too much X Men. I should
yeah, me
read
neither.
more X Men.
Right.
Like it's so hard to get into X Men because of how convoluted it is.
Okay.
I mean, one writer, Chris Claremont, was on the book for 30 years, so it's kind of hard to really know where to start with X Men because like you don't want to hop in the middle of like his 30 years of writing
Right.
X-Men because you're just going to be like, huh, what do you mean this happened in a previous book? Do I have to go back and read that book to read this book?
Right.
But I don't think it matters too much.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering that. So now I'll send it to you. What do you want to talk about?
Hmm. I love all the villains in the movie, but I really wish we got like more talking scenes with the villains that appeared at the beginning of the credits, like with Tarantula and Boomerang.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least Tombstone got a talking scene, and I love Tombstone.
Okay.
Tombstone's like one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, so I'm happy that he was included, and the actor who played him was perfect. I loved him. Uh, I'm gonna nerd out a bit because I love Tombstone. If I can find my copy here, sorry.
That's all good. And as you're looking at that, so you would have wanted the opening scenes to actually have more of a role in the movie, not just a little blip.
Yeah, I mean, I love Scorpion as well, but I would have rather maybe them team up or something to. I mean, we kind of had the Sinister Six in the last film, but like I wish we would see like the villains working together to, or like Jean Grey takes control of the villains that Spidey put down. I know they had the hand or whatever in it, which I don't really care for because I don't read comics with the hand in them. But I would have loved to seen Tarantula and Boomerang get more lines. Because those are some really underrated Spidey villains, especially Tarantula. I love Tarantula. But this is my signed copy of the first appearance of Tombstone by the artist who
Nice.
co-created Tombstone.
Who's the artist?
Alex Saviuk. He was actually credited at the end, like during the credits, and at the end of the movie, in the credits.
Right, right.
But Tombstone is such a really good villain. I mean, his early appearances, I guess, are a little bland, but I just think he's a great villain. I love his character, and I'm really happy that they finally gave him like a live action adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
At least he had talking scenes.
Yeah, yeah. What I forget. What did he say? Was he just like arguing with Spider-Man?
I think so. I don't
Okay.
remember. I don't
Yeah.
think it really meant too much.
Okay, yeah. And I do like, I said this yesterday, but I do like the little quips that they gave Spider-Man at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
Like, here, I'll change your tune or whatever he said about the piano.
yeah,
Things like that. Because as I was reading the Brand New Day trade paperback that I got, it definitely had a lot of those quippy, I mean, almost to the degree I was like, wow, does he say anything but quips?
yeah. I
But
mean,
again, that was just one
I,
issue.
Spider Man's always kind of funny in the comics. I feel like that's something we didn't get a lot in the movies. Well, Andrew did a really good job. Uh, Tom is now doing it. Like Homecoming, I thought had some really good quips. Like
Hmm.
when those dudes that arrived in the bank with the Avengers mask, and he's like,
Yeah,
"Whoa, the Avengers! I
right,
didn't know y'all were in town." I thought that was
right.
funny.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
what did you think of some of the or I guess overall the arc of Spider-Man in this? What did you think?
I thought it was great. I thought it was really cool how they he finally accepted that he wants to be happy again, wants to try to reconnect with these people that he told himself that he was probably never going to be friends with again. I mean, it's better to be to get like reestablish friendships with people that, of course, probably don't remember you, but you remember them. So if you want to have some sort of connection at all, I think that's probably the healthiest way. I just thought it was really good. Definitely one of the best that they've had. I think that's what makes the movie so good is Spider-Man accepting both sides of himself. I mean, especially with him
Mm,
getting the new powers, finally learning to just let it go and be the best him that he could possibly be, and not try to be alone while doing it. Of course, he that end scene where he's at Aunt May's grave and he's like, "I've decided I'm not going to do it alone anymore." I thought that was really good too.
yeah, that's so important. I mean, in
Yeah,
life in general, to not like do life alone. Like we're doing this podcast together. We have friends, we have family.
yeah,
So I think. At the comic convention we go to, you find people, or even just talking to them about whatever. I definitely think that is a huge message that we could draw from this movie. Not that we necessarily need to, but just if you're going to, that is something that
Yeah.
can inspire our lives.
Oh,
Definitely.
definitely.
Okay, so as far as like, was there any like scenes in particular that really stood out to you, whether it be action, whether it be like a line? I mean, you said the line at the, but as far, I guess maybe, yeah, action. Is there any action scenes with Spider-Man that stood out to you in this film?
Um, I mean the of course the Hulk. When the Hulk's like attacking him throughout the building, I thought that was really cool. The best the Hulk's been in a long time. I'm a huge Hulk fan, so at
Okay.
least at least they did him right for the first time since like maybe Ragnarok, Thor.
Mm.
But I thought that was really cool. I thought the uh, the tank at the beginning of the movie, where the old lady's like driving it to
Oh yeah.
the facility, I thought that was really cool too. Uh, Punisher and Spidey's relationship in the whole movie, I thought that was really great. Like, of course, with the tank, he's like, "Get out of here, Frank! I got this." I thought that
Right.
was great. Almost all the action scenes in the movie, I don't have a problem with at all. I think they're all great. Um, I thought it was a very entertaining movie, not just in the story, but with the action, of course. Uh, like I said, I wish we did get to see Spider-Man fight his villains more than he's fought like Jean Grey in the Hand. But
Right. Right.
I mean, I'm not hating because I love Well, I love Jean Grey, but like
Right.
I want more Spidey villains. Come on,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they
It is a
tease them.
Spider-Man film.
I know they tease them, but like where's my fight with Tarantula, man? Where's my fight?
Yeah. I was talking to a guy at work, and he was talking about, he thought that, is it man spider that's a thing when Spider-Man
Yeah,
transforms. So what
I,
if
I
you would have
really
got
thought that I
tur
really thought that was gonna happen.
yeah, what if you would have gotten him and the tarantula dude? I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking in terms of spiders and whatever. So, um,
I
oh, go
mean, it's
ahead.
in the comics, it's Morbius that's there when Spider-Man is turning into Man Spider,
Okay.
and so it's like I think it was a whole. I think it was in the '90s cartoon where they're like, "We're trying to cure us both, so let's try to." I haven't read it, but I really thought Man Spider was going to be a part of it. I thought it would have been sick, but I understand why they didn't because they I don't think they could have fit it in into to tell the story that they probably wanted to tell.
Well, and what somebody I was talking to said that apparently Tom Holland didn't want a bunch of kids to be scared. And I'm like, you know what?
Oh
Go
yeah, that
Tom.
makes sense.
Go
Yeah, that makes
Tom.
sense. Yeah, I like that.
I do, because we were talking a little about Supergirl, and you guys could check that out earlier. But one of the comparisons is, I would say overall, and I would say maybe Marvel in general, other than maybe like Logan, and maybe the early X-Men. I don't know; those were a little more adult thematic.
Well, X,
Um,
no, Deadpool as well.
yeah, Deadpool. But other than that, overall MCU movies, I would say, are very family friendly. And not that Supergirl wasn't per se, but it was some pretty dark themes. Like
I don't think it.
Spider-Man.
I don't think Supergirl has the right moral values. Well, in that movie, to really teach kids what to do, what is right, what is wrong. Because at the end of that movie, I don't think Kara really has a like a really good character arc where she's like, I want to do better for myself and Ruthie. You know, I just think she kind of. I don't think she needed to kill Krim, but
Yeah, yeah. But all that to say is just that I think Marvel and DC, like, I think Superman definitely, but like overall the MCU movies, kind of have more of a, I hate to kind of say it, but kind of more of a family friendly feel. I mean,
oh
they
yeah,
just kind of
I
do.
mean, even with the new Lantern show, that is not kid
hmm
friendly at all.
and I said in my review, I said I would not recommend that unless you're 18 plus. I mean, that's
Oh
just
yeah, I mean that I mean
to
I
to
thought
each their
episode
own.
one.
as well as parents. Like
Uh,
obviously, but I would say a parent should definitely watch it first. If you don't care
yeah.
at all, then that's your choice. But yes, I
No, I'm
definitely,
I'm surprised Supergirl wasn't rated R, though, with the themes it had.
yeah.
Um,
But they
Green
didn't
Lantern.
go too deep. But let's,
Oh yeah,
yeah. So let's jump back into Spider-Man here since we're, but
yeah.
anyway,
But
one thing on lanterns. Go ahead.
huh?
You said something about lanterns. Go ahead. I cut you off, but
I
go
just
ahead.
I love that episode though. I thought it was really good.
Okay. But definitely more of a,
Oh yeah, for adults.
yeah. So yeah, so what did you think about what did you think about Jean Grey? How'd you like her in this film?
I thought she was really good. I wish that they explored more into her backstory. They're probably going to do that in the X Men movie though. So like, I'm assuming she's probably going to be the main character of the X Men movie.
That's
Uh,
possible.
um, no, I thought she was really good though. I wish her and Spidey had one more interaction before the end of the movie. I don't know actually, but I thought she was really good. Um, I don't really have too much to say about her. She was just like kind of there.
Were
I
you
thought
surprised that it was her?
no, not really. I kind of figured.
Or so as the people were doing all these things, you thought that was her?
Yeah, I just kind of figured. I don't think there really could have been anyone else. I
Okay.
mean, I heard Typhoid Mary was a possibility, but she was already portrayed in the Daredevil show. So,
Okay. I
but
didn't know it was going to be Jean, and I don't know that I was like from my perspective is not really have and maybe at one point I had heard that she was going to be in the film or the cast as that, but I don't know that I necessarily thought about it going in to watch it. So as somebody that didn't like have an inkling of what's going on, but it was like, is this because it was a little bit hokey, a little bit, but then
yeah,
once you find out who it is, it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
no, no. I just kind of figured it was her.
Okay.
Um, I thought her character arc through the movie was really good. Um, I don't really have a lot to say about her because I mean, you don't really get to know her for that long. She was just kind of just a villain, just like I'm sure we'll get more of her in X Men, of course, but she was just kind of there until like the ending of the movie. No, I thought she was good though. I thought Sadie Sink did a good job with her. I'm excited to see what they'll go in the future with her. Maybe they'll do Phoenix Force one day. I mean, they've already done it so much, so I don't know if they ever will. But
Yeah. Maybe, maybe not. What did you think about what did you think? I did want to ask you this. What did you think? Did you have any thoughts on that scene where Peter essentially lets her into his head and then is like allows her to interact with his Aunt May? What was there any feels there or was it
oh
like,
yeah,
oh, this
I
is
mean,
okay?
yeah, I mean
I like that scene a lot.
yeah, it reminds me a lot with me and my dad's relationship. So it's like I look over at in the movie and I like see my dad tearing up. I'm like, "Are you crying?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh," but I thought it was very very good, very emotional. I think that's exactly what Gene needed to hear. Um, no, they did a really good job with that, and I'm happy Marissa Tomei was able to come back as Aunt May for that. Um, it was very, very good. Um, um, I'm excited for Peter and Jean to interact in the future if they ever
Mm-hmm.
do an X Men Spider Man crossover.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. I do I do really like Peter and Jean's like they're kind of forming like a brother sister relationship in a way where it's like I'm here for you if you ever need me. I know what it's like. I thought that was really good.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, it was I think it was that scene I teared up a little bit was when with their interaction or they were talking. It was like and you didn't have a lot of the setup of her sister, but I feel like you had just enough to connect with her on an emotional level.
Yeah.
Um it wasn't Yeah,
VMAX was crazy.
yeah, right.
VMAX. I was not expecting that.
Yes, I was
But
thinking it was like once you found out it was Jean Grey, I was thinking it was like an anti-mutagen, right? Some
yeah,
there that this the Department of Damage Control or whatever, they were essentially developing things to stop mutants. You know,
one
a
thing I wish
secret
they
weapon.
yeah, one thing I wish they did in the movie was actually call her a mutant. I don't think they called her a mutant at all during the movie. I
Yeah,
really wish they did that. Like,
and it could
I,
have been because they were figuring that out still. Who
yeah,
are these people?
yeah. I just wish I would have heard it once. I thought that
Yeah,
would have been like, oh man, you're teasing us. We
right.
gotta wait 2 years for X Men now.
Yes. Yeah, the whole 2 years for a movie. Um, Speaking of damage control, like, did you ever watch the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No, I know my dad did though.
Okay, so he may wonder about this. And so as far as like movies go, movie people might not understand what I'm talking about, and that's fine. But as far as the TV show, I think it's just I was gonna ask you, is it time we just get rid of damage control, bring back the Agents of Shield? Like Shield is a department. And the reason being is because it kind of serves the same function
Yeah,
a little bit. And so, like, did
I
they
mean,
get rid of Shield in the movies too soon?
maybe a little bit too soon. Like I still really like Shield. Shield the name I just think is really iconic. So if you have Shield in it, I think people would be rejoiced over it. I guess, but
Yeah. And all you have to do is bring in Sam
like
Jackson and
yeah,
totally just be like, I'm
you could just
restarting Shield.
yeah,
Simple.
like no Hydra infiltration or anything like that. We're just gonna do background checks or something like
Yeah,
that.
right. Yeah, you could. Yeah, even if you don't acknowledge the TV series, which I don't feel like Marvel has done for
I
whatever reason.
I guess it's non-canon or something, even though Phil
Yeah.
Coulson is like the main character of it. I
Yeah.
think it really sucks that Phil Coulson never popped up in the movies again after Avengers, and they brought him
And
back for Agents of
Captain
Shield.
Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just think it's like, oh, what happened? Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah, I agree.
Uh,
There was a whole movement, I think, bring back Coulson. I don't know where that's at on the
Coulson
internets.
was such a good character too.
Oh, he was great and
I
is.
thought it was
He's
awesome.
yeah, so yeah, so if you
I thought Ghost
Clark
Rider.
Gregg, if you ever watch this, we say hashtag bring back Coulson.
I know, right?
Kevin Feige, please. Maybe
I
that's what I should say. Kevin Feige, bring back Coulson, please.
yeah,
Like, just give him a cameo. Like, certainly we have Earths out there in Doomsday that have a Coulson that's still alive. You
I
could just
know.
snatch him in. Anyways,
Or like Ghost Rider was in that show, right?
yeah, Robbie
Yeah,
Reyes.
not Danny Ketch or Johnny Blaze, but like it was a Ghost Rider. So it's like no
Yeah,
one
Robbie
acknowledges
Reyes.
that Ghost Rider was technically part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, already
I'm
was.
assuming Agents of Shield is non canon to the MCU. I don't know what their deal is or
Yeah, I don't know.
what.
Kevin,
Yeah,
but I think Kevin Feige would have had to have approved it unless it was at the
yeah.
beginning stages of his career. I don't know. So let's
Oh
get.
yeah, I got a question for you.
Yes, go ahead.
Do you know anything about Jean DeWolf?
Oh, that is a great question. I do not, but I was looking up. I did want to get the actress's name, Lisa Colon-Zayas, or forgive me if I'm screwing up her name. If anyone knows, you can let me know. Uh, I did not, but I do like as far as comic book lore. I don't. If you have any information, feel free to fill me in. But I will.
I
But I will
she,
just say real quick, and then you can fill us in. I thought having her almost like a mentor or another aunt to Peter, really, even though it wasn't
I
several
thought she was
interactions.
awesome. I was
Yes,
so excited to see her.
I liked, again, I don't have any comic book knowledge of that character, but as far as this actress's portrayal and like telling Peter, take care of yourself, take time off, da da da, like her essentially a replacement for Aunt May or his parents, I thought worked really well. And it gave him it kind of kept him, even though he went off the hinges a little bit, it kind of kept him a little bit grounded in the movie of having, because he didn't have Ned, he didn't have MJ,
Yeah.
he didn't unfortunately even have Flash, as we said, but he had her. So yeah, go ahead and tell us the comic book interpret of her.
Yeah. I mean, I'm nervous because she was so good in the movie, but spoiler alert, she dies in the comics. So it's
Oh,
like in a very brutal way too. She was a really good character in the comics, but her comic book storyline, written by Peter David, the late great, uh, is by far one of the best Spider-Man stories. It's called The Death of Gina Wolf, and it's about Sin Eater, if you know who that is. He's like a dude with a shotgun. I think it
okay.
has magical powers, but I don't know if that's. I don't know too much about Sin Eater, but basically breaks into her apartment and shoots her. But
Oh man.
like it's like a murder mystery, but it's such a good story. I hope they never adapt it because I don't want to see that version of the wolf die because of what we've already established with her is that she has a family and all that. So I mean, I'm assuming if they bring out the black suit because Peter does have the I think it's the cloth black suit by then, but
Okay.
if they it would be such an emotional movie if they did something
Yeah.
like that. Uh, it would probably be a rated R Spider-Man movie if that's the
Mm,
case. But I she is a great character. I know that later in Spider-Man lore, if you ever played the PlayStation games,
yes.
um, they replaced her with Yuri Watanabe,
Okay.
the like kind of as that person that's talking with Spider-Man, letting him get the information.
Yeah.
She's basically like her. Or if you played the really bad Spider-Man 3 video game tie-in, she's also in it, but that game's terrible. But
Okay.
she's a really great character. I loved her in the movie. I thought she was perfect. I
So
thought she
you
was
thought
great.
the actress good, thumbs up. Two
Did
thumbs
a
up.
great job. Yeah, I love their like relationship. I don't think they'll ever. I don't think Peter will ever tell her his identity. But I thought she was great. Uh,
Uh okay. Yeah, go ahead.
no, you go. You go.
I was going to say, okay, moving on to another character, William Metzger, yeah. Or do you know anything about him from the
Not
comics?
really.
Okay,
I
so
don't.
could he be a new character?
Maybe I could look it up really quick.
Yeah, that's fine. What? So here's a question, an overall question I have for you. Obviously, he is. Well, okay. Let me ask this, and then I'll follow it up. But do you feel like he is a villain, or do you feel like he's just trying to understand and his methods are a little bit off kilter? What was your read on that in the movie?
Um. Well, in the movie, I thought he was a bit like trying to do the right thing, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he like when they revealed that he's really not a great person. I think that's when it's like, yeah, this dude's only doing it for his his own reasons. But man, I just looked it up, and it says in the comics he is a human anti-mutant activist. So it's like, oh, now I understand.
Mm-hmm.
uh, I thought the actor was really good. Yeah, I don't really know too much about the character.
Okay, that's fair.
I think it's I I do think that he was a bad guy all along.
Okay,
Like you could tell he was kind of fishy at the beginning, so
yeah,
I wasn't sure what his motive really was. So it's like I couldn't tell if he was like doing it for bad reasons or just like just being a jerk for no reason.
yeah. So let me. I guess we'll end on this question, and this is kind of a philosophical question. You didn't probably know you were gonna, and if you want to answer, great. If not, sorry, I hit the microphone. But kind of the philosophical thing is, I feel like in 2026, even if you have to cast someone else, I feel like I don't remember why I thought this, or if it was a book I read, an interview, if it was something online I saw, and then I started noticing it. But I feel like there are a lot of times, not all the time, but there are a lot of times where you see and I don't even know if he was the big bad in this, not that you really had a big bad per se. The antagonist, is the villain, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how often you see black people as the antagonist of a movie, of a story, and intentional or unintentional, comic book accurate, not comic book accurate. I almost feel like we need to kind of get past that. Again, not to make it all about race or whatever, and I don't by any stretch think that that movie was trying to portray that, but I just think like I'm like, can we focus more on having them like bring in Miles for this movie, and not to say every bad guy has to be a white guy. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not anti. I am white, so but I've noticed that a lot in movies. Sometimes you bring in people that are black, and then they're like villains, and I'm like, I feel like we need to like shift that narrative, and maybe you didn't pick up on that at all, but
I didn't.
I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, like overall, like have you ever thought about that or noticed that before?
I've never really noticed it.
Okay.
Maybe it's unintentional. I have noticed that Marvel is canceling a lot of or delaying a lot of shows that have main characters that are black, like uh, Wonder Man. And I
Okay.
loved Wonder Man, and I'm really upset that they canceled the show because that show was probably the best thing Marvel's released since Brand New Day now, but in a long time. I loved Wonder Man, so I don't know what they're if they're doing it on purpose or they're just like really that. I kind of feel like it's unintentional.
Yeah,
I
and it
don't think
could be.
they.
It's
Yeah,
probably like bottom line, I'm guessing, in reality.
yeah.
But I
I
just
don't think
think,
they mean to, but
yeah.
I I now that you really talk about it, I kind of see your point. I
And
don't
it,
think they do it on purpose though.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's ill will, or I mean, hopefully ill will or ill intention. I obviously don't know them, but it's like, I don't know. It's one of those things where like maybe if you don't notice, you don't notice maybe. And I'm not trying to put anything on anybody at all. That's not my point. But I do think there is a reality sometimes in our world, unfortunately, and because of our history. I'm not blaming on anybody, but just there there's what do I want to say? Like lanterns, for instance. I think I would have been more than happy if they would have just done a John Stewart story, like and like how maybe have some back
Yeah.
matter, some replay, but they wanted a buddy cop, and that's fine.
I think with lanterns though is that they want to introduce as many Green Lanterns as possible,
Okay, that's fair. And
and
they people know
so
Hal Jordan, I
yeah.
suppose. Yeah.
I mean, I think John Stewart. I'm not gonna lie. I think John Stewart's probably just as popular as Hal Jordan, and I know
Okay.
that's kind of a hot take because John Stewart was like the main Green Lantern of the early 2000s with the Justice League show.
Yeah,
And
Justice League and Unlimited,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Personally, he's my favorite Green Lantern. I love
That's
John Stewart.
awesome. That's awesome.
I think he's a very great character. But I understand why they did it, and I think it's just to build the universe. And I think Hal Jordan, he's a very popular character as well. So it's like
Right.
they want to introduce these characters. I think that's one thing that DC is kind of lacking is that they're um, taking their time building this universe
Yeah.
where people they want to get excited for the next big bad. And I know James Gunn has said that he wants to kind of make his universe like Star Wars, where there's not really building up to a big bad. And I think a lot of people want that is because they want to feel excited for like this huge team up movie where there is a big bad like Dark Side. And in my personal opinion, I'm hoping that they're building up to Parallax for Hal Jordan, and that Hal Jordan's going to be the big bad of maybe
Yeah.
the Justice League movie. But I don't think a lot of people want that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, thank you for your opinion on that. And one last thing, hashtag we need Miles Morales in the next Spider-Man movie.
oh
I'm
yeah,
just gonna say it. Like, and I will say this: I'm not necessarily even as big of a fan of Miles, but I know they did Into the Spider-Verse. I think that
yeah.
did really well, and Miles is a huge character, and
They
you know
just
the
released a new #1 for Miles in the
awesome.
comics. Yeah,
That's
so
great.
Miles is
Yeah.
still a very popular
So
character.
so it's time, and you know, hashtag representation, but we need Miles in the MCU, especially because like now we're incorporating, right, like Black Panther,
Yeah.
we're incorporating like Miles, we're incorporating like in the DC John Stewart. I say let's bring in a Black Lightning into the films as
Oh
well.
yeah.
So there's so many characters of diversity that I think we can bring in and still tell really good stories. And I think we should. Like, we are in a day and age where it's like that, in my opinion, needs to be. They brought in, you know, Sam Wilson. Awesome. Thank you so much, Marvel. So keep incorporating these into the mainstream because our country, I think, needs to unify. Like, you're always going to probably have haters, unfortunately. I
Oh
regret
yeah, for
that.
sure.
But like let's include like let's make yeah,
We need
let's
Luke Cage back in the MCU.
there you go. Let's bring
Oh,
him
wait, he
back.
came back, I believe, in the Daredevil show.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I want him to have his own show again.
Yeah, let's do that or movie or whatever. Like
Oh yeah,
there's nothing off the table. So, well, so any final thoughts? We'll go ahead and close here. I know I said one last question, but any final thoughts on Spider-Man Brand New Day that you wanted to talk about?
it was just a really good movie. I think it's really what the people needed for Spider-Man, and especially nowadays with the comics being so bad. I mean, Joe Kelly's doing his best on the current run. I think his run is probably the best it's been in a long time. But this Spider-Man movie is really what I think people needed for Spider-Man. What the fans needed for Spider-Man. I mean, there's not a lot of good Spider-Man content nowadays outside of the movies and games. So, like, I think it really gave a lot of people hope, just like what Superman did. So,
Yes,
yeah,
and performed way better. It was a lot of people that saw it,
I know.
and
Hopefully,
um,
Superman makes $1 billion one day.
yes, I think hopefully Man of Tomorrow.
Hopefully. I
I'm
mean, it seems that they're bringing all their characters together for it. So,
yeah, and I think Jon Stewart will be in that, and that'll be awesome.
I know. I'm so excited.
Can you imagine how, not Hal Jordan? Can you imagine Guy Gardner and Jon Stewart? Just the two. It's literally diametrically opposed. Like Guy Gardner's like give him the finger,
Yeah.
and Jon Stewart is like, well, we saw his upbringing in Lanterns, very strict, very like let no nonsense. It's not that he doesn't have fun. I know he will, and I love the scene with him. Anyway, this is not a Lanterns, but I'm just saying, like Guy Gardner, Jon Stewart interacting in a movie, that'll be great. Maybe this season, we'll see. Who knows? Okay, well, thank you all for listening. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I think as far as you know, like, would you say this was pretty good for our Spider-Man content?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, good. Awesome. Well, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. What did you guys think of the movie? Also, if you ever want early access to our episodes, head on over to Patreon, Comics CC Studio. And thank you all. And in my sign off here, we will CC you later. And just remember, stay super. And in honor of Spider Man and Happy Hogan, which I wish he was in the movie, stay sticky. Thank you all. Cool, man.
Awesome.
That was kind of a wide range, not just the movie. Oh,
Oh,
hold
yeah.
on. I gotta quit broadcasting to YouTube here.